been a long time since I have put out a video. I will tell you more about that in the future, but just to sum it up, last year was a challenge for me. I encountered many obstacles that prevented me from doing a lot of the things that I had planned on doing. It did bring some wonderful opportunities, like I got a chance to work in a fiber mill for 4 months or so, something like that. You might have seen me post about that over on the Facebook group. I don't know if I post anything in here about that, but over, not in the Facebook group, the Facebook page. Hi Ashley, how are you? But I'm actually right now in my mobile store because I had to come do year-end inventory so I could get all my paperwork in order. But I figured while I was here, and it being a 50-something degree day, that it was a great opportunity to come and do a live video with you all, just to say hi, to do a little catch up. Hello, hi, I miss you guys too. Aw, thank you so much. You know, towards the end of last year, I did a lot of reevaluating, reassessing, and I have focused so much more. There's very few things I'm doing now, but I am hitting the 10-year anniversary of raising alpacas. September was 10 years from the very first alpaca I ever bought. That was Joy. If you want to see her, go back to the videos. I have a video of a lot of the early members of my herd. Joy was one of them, and I tell you the story about her and how I got her and all that. And she, oh, such a special place in my heart. She's my very first alpaca, and I paid to have her boarded where I bought her while I was teaching overseas in Seoul, South Korea. Anyway, I tell that whole story in her video, so go and watch that. But yeah, 10 years I've been owning alpacas. Come April, I will be living here in Nebraska for 10 years, having worked with alpacas every day, full time. So with that being said, I had to reevaluate and go back to my original dream for getting alpacas and deciding if I still wanted that dream, if I still wanted alpacas, like where was I going, what was I doing kind of thing. So now I'm refocused and I'm here for good. And this year I have made space for this channel and for certain plans I have with the alpacas. But I thought today was a really good day to kind of check in with you, give you kind of a hi, what's going on. I did take footage last year of some of the things I was doing. So I'm going to start releasing that really soon here. So I'll be releasing some videos of stuff that happened last year and working all the way up until like current times. But I thought you probably didn't want to wait to figure out what was going on now, right? Like I mentioned, I'm in my store. If you follow the Facebook page, thanks, Julie. If you follow my Facebook page, yesterday I just announced a t-shirt line that I'm doing. Yes, I am back. I am back. Released a t-shirt line, so you can go check that out. Butterfieldalpacaranch.com. You'll find those new t-shirts. There's 4 styles right now. They come in 6 colors, 5 sizes. One of them is our logo, which I totally love the new logo that we have. Okay, how about hello? Hi, okay, from Montana, hello from Massachusetts, hello from England, hello. Okay, in case you didn't know, I'm in Nebraska. All right, we're gonna go see the girls at least, because I'm right next to the girls' barn. Actually, let me get my sunglasses, because if we have time and battery life, I also want to go over to the boys, but I will want my sunglasses because the sun's getting low. All right, I'm walking on mud here. Today being 50-something degrees, all the snow that we've had is melting. We didn't have a whole lot, so it's not crazy muddy like we've had sometimes. Oh, I need to go around because I'll probably lose reception if I go in the barn. All right, we got 8 of you on. Hi! Hello, everyone. Something I noticed as I was popping on, I am 50 subscribers from hitting 7,000. So if you are watching this and you are not a subscriber, would you consider becoming one? And that way we can hit that 7,000 mark. Wouldn't that be exciting? Oh, this hasn't been open in a little while. Okay. We're gonna do that. I need to remember to come back this way and actually lock it well. All right, let me see if I can move the camera. Can't I switch? Yes, I can. Okay, here's our muddy mess. We've got some girls out there. See, when there's snow on the ground, the alpacas don't go out. They just stay near the barn. The only ones I see venturing out are the llamas, and they don't go very far. But now that the snow is disappearing, it's their natural instinct to go out. So we've got 3 llamas and 2 alpacas out there, which means the rest are over here. Oh, there's Lindsay. And I think Sasha's next to her. It's time for us to bring a new bale out, but here are the girlies. Along with Gus and Star. Let's check inside. Let's see who's inside. There are 16 girls at this barn right now. Yours love the snow, really? Oh. All right, the light's not on here, but okay, we're getting enough light to see. The girls are getting whatever they can left over from feeding this morning. So I do have a story to tell. You know me, I always have stories. All right, so I have 3 boys over here. One of them on the far side there is Rum. Each of them are over here because they had some reason that I didn't want them to be with the other boy group. Rum, he had some wounds over the summer. By the time they healed, he went back over and rejoining to the boy herd. Oh, that was not a good situation. A lot of drama and actually turned pretty dangerous. So he's back and he's glad to be back. Speaking of back, the llamas have just come up. They're probably thinking, are you gonna give us more alfalfa? Because that's what you do when you come, is you feed us. What do you think, Winter? You're gonna have to wait till morning for more alfalfa though, okay? All right. And the other 2 boys I have here is Gus. He was having some balance issues. He's gotten better, but I'm still not comfortable enough taking him back over. That male herd, they can get pretty drama. The boys have a whole lot more drama than the girls. And I like to make sure that whoever's over there can actually defend themselves. Oh, can I see the comments? Can I go back? Okay. Ashley, yes, go ahead and email me, hello@butterfieldalpacaranch.com. You have some questions, go ahead and email me, that's fine. And then we have Star here, and he's just resting, but I have a story about him. A couple weeks ago, I treated him for M-worm. Oh my. He was doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good, but this morning, let me walk around because I want to show you. We found him. Jessica's just sniffing me. She swears I'm going to give her something. I found him on the ground against this fence. the base of his neck was right up on this post, right in this corner. And his neck was bent back, laying across his back. And he was having a very hard time breathing. It was a kind of sound that I've heard when some of them are passing away. And I thought he took a turn for the worse and that we were losing him. But I pulled him away from this post and stretched out his neck, and did not take very long before he was breathing a whole lot better. It was improving, and I thought, okay, there's some hope here. I swear he was on the verge of death and that we were just going to lose him. But he started to wiggle like he wanted to get up. So I helped fold his legs underneath of him and roll him over into the cush position, which is the position he's in now, and I held up his neck. He was very weak. He couldn't hold up his head at that time. And I just held it up for him and was talking to him, and little by little he started perking up, and then he held his head on his own. I went to get some water, and while I was gone, he tried to get up. And so all within about 10 minutes of me finding him, little by little, he started to get back. And one thing about Star is he is a talker when it comes to food. Like in the morning when we come, he hums loud and long. Like he is telling you, feed me. And so when he was there cushed, before he tried to get up, he hummed a little bit, and I thought, yay! You know, there's hope. There's actually like something good happening, and maybe he won't die. And by the time we left here, let's see, my dad and my great uncle were here, so they were doing the rest of the chores, taking care of everybody else. But seriously, within 10-15 minutes, he was standing, he was walking, he was kind of interested in eating. We went and did chores at the boys' barn and then came back, and he's walking and eating and all that great stuff. So the fact that he has an appetite, so good. He's still weak in the back. He's still recovering from M-worm. But if you're not familiar, meningeal worm is the one thing with alpacas that we actually have to be concerned about. There's not a lot of diseases or things to be worried about. You know, there's some general parasites, sure, but M-worm is the one thing that once they get it, they can go very quickly, and the treatment needs to be very quick and aggressive. So he had a lot of meds in 5 days, and now he's just relaxing and chilling, being lazy. I think he's cushed right there on purpose, don't you? All right, so now let's see. And then if I have enough juice left on my phone, we can head on over to the boys' barn. Should we do that? Usually when I do like an update video of the animals or like general ranch stuff, of course I would edit out my little walk in between. But for those of you who've come here for a tour, you know the distance between the boys and the girls' barn is quite a bit. It's about 700 feet. So we're gonna take a walk over there. One of the things in our design here that I really like is how we've set up the pastures in terms of what was available here. So I'm walking through the girls' pasture. Let me show you what we've done here. This is a part of the girls' pasture that we fenced off for those 3 boys. So originally my idea was that this was going to be the nursery. Late term moms would be in here, they would get extra nutrition. Babies would be born here, they'd grow up here until they were old enough to be integrated with the main female herd. So this is their pasture. Other side of that fence is more of what I would think like a dry lot, even though there is grass in there. And then just beyond is where we were, where those three boys are. So yeah, it's worked out quite nice. Originally, I have this planned out where we can have it in half, so there's two areas that I can rotate if need be. But it's really just ended up being kind of like a infirmary. That's where I bring the boys that need extra help or whatever. Yeah, it's nice when it's empty because that means that everyone is healthy and there's no extra issues. But at least I have a space for them. I really like that. Tell me, is it windy? Like, yeah, you can see my hair blowing. It's windy, but I mean like the sound. Is the sound okay? Sometimes it picks it up. Here, let me show you where we're going. So this is January, southern Nebraska. Everything turns brown. This past spring, we had so much rain, so much rain. Everything was super green. It was so beautiful. Everything was green, all the hills and stuff. Awesome. And it stayed green for most of the summer. All right, let me show you where we're at. There's the boys' barn. Let's see. Just out here, that's where we're going. See the boys' pasture out that way. Thank you, Nikki. Sounds okay. All right. One of the things I want to do is get a good microphone that can block out that wind sound. All right, that's a girl's pasture. My nice line of trees. I love those trees. I want more trees. Some for shade, because I like trees. So this is the fence line between the girls' pasture and what I originally intended for the young boys who were weaned, that they would go in here. It is a pasture between the girls and the boys. You can see the boys just beyond there. So that the weaned boys would share a fence here with their mom. They'd still get to see her, sniff through the fence with her. And then on the other side, they start to get to know the boys that eventually they would go live with. Currently, I do not have anyone in that age group, and this pasture had gotten overgrazed, so it's nice that I've been able to let it rest. Oh, sorry, Ashley. What was I saying that I went in and out of a little bit? I can repeat myself. All right, we just brought a new alfalfa bale over yesterday. So we have the new one there along with a little bit of the old one. The boys' area is so much more open. Hey, they're putting on a show. The boys are much more entertaining, and I will tell you, the male llamas are much more entertaining. Hi, guys. The cowboy. Hello. Now this one here is Oliver, and he is coming into his own. The reason they chest bumped there is because Oliver is battling his way up the social ladder. Yeah, and I think he's giving his brother Roman a run for his money to be the alpha in the herd. And there's Roman coming right up the fence. At the bottom of the hill, he can get a glimpse of the girls, so that's why he goes down there. Oh, Ashley, girl yard. Okay. This pasture I'm in now, the fence on the other side that I walked through, the gate I walked through is just up that way. So that fence line separates the pasture of the girls with this pasture, which I originally meant to be for young boys once they've been weaned. On that side, they share a fence with their mom, so they're not completely cut off from her. They just can't nurse. And it has been documented, males have bred females when they're as early as 9 months old. So about that time you separate them from their mom, but they're not big enough to handle being with the grown males who are playing that turns into fighting and dominating and all that kind of stuff. So this pasture is meant for that age group. On this side, they would share a fence with these boys who eventually they would get to live with, but they get to know them over time through the fence. Something that happened maybe 2 months ago, not sure. Hi, Oliver. He's so curious. Yeah, you like phones too? Yeah, he's like Thunder. Thunder was always curious about phones, or cameras even. Okay, if you'll notice what's going on here, our lean-to doesn't have a roof. All right, we had this massive, massive windstorm come through. It was in the night. The storm took this entire roof off. All the inside posts, let's see, that corner post, all of them were gone. This corner post here was the only one left. It took that roof, peeled it back. Here, my hand's not in the camera, in the frame. It peeled it back and landed out there, which is our hayfield. And of course it had busted. So my dad has spent what time he can rebuilding the roof. He got the main part done. Of course, you see he's got the lean-to framed out. And look at the condition of these. Yeah, so still a work in progress to finish this out. And then I have heavy plastic that we're gonna wrap this barn like we have in winters past to provide an enclosure during really bad weather. This is the middle of January. We've had 2 storms, what you can call 2 storms, that these guys have had. They've done really, really well. You see we've got some bedding in there. The alfalfa we have this year is excellent, and that has really helped them endure the weather. This is Roman. So curious. Okay. Oh, he's sniffing my hand. And I have the phone on a little tripod that I'm holding. Hi, Roman. Did you see the girls? They were all back in their barn. So probably not. Yeah. Yeah, the alfalfa. This year we got from a different neighbor some really, really great stuff. It's green and the stems are small. What we had last year and the year before, the stems were thicker, and the alpacas don't eat that. And their favorite part are the leaves, and this has a lot of leaves. And we've noticed that they're far less hungry than they were last year, and these bales are lasting a lot longer than the ones that we had previously got. So I'm glad we got a new source for that. But with that being said, these guys are enduring the winter better than they did last year. But winter they much prefer over the summer because of their fiber. They're so warm. I think it was, what day did we come really early? Yesterday? What's today? Today's Wednesday? Okay, Monday. Monday I had to go to a funeral, so I came really early. So early that the guys were still cushed in the barn here, and it's like they hadn't even got up for the day yet, and they weren't even interested in moving. it was pretty interesting. Okay, I just saw a question about alfalfa. Diane asked a question about how many acres. There's 42 acres here. There was a question about alfalfa. Is alfalfa good for llamas and alpacas to feed all the time? No. I only feed in the winter when our temperatures really drop. And so it's not till about late December that I start feeding it. And early spring, I start weaning them off of it. They treat it like candy. They will fight over it. It is their favorite thing. They will eat it all the time. They would gorge themselves on it if they could. So that's why we just give them a little bit each day. We don't put that bale in there. If I put that alfalfa bale in there, they would all eat it in a day and make themselves sick because it's just too much. I only give it in the winter because that extra protein in their belly makes their body warmer from the inside, and so they do better with the really cold temps, and we get really, really cold temperatures. So that's what that's for. Yeah, early spring, I start weaning them off, and then when their pastures start greening up and they can go graze, sometime in there, I'll just stop altogether. Yeah, thank you, Julie. But the alfalfa, it really is dependent on where you're at and what the needs of your herd are. There are farms that don't feed it at all, with good reason. So, you know, just be mindful of what it does for them and when it's too much for them. But in my environment, that's how I deal with that. Okay, I saw another question. Do you still have Thunder? Thunder has a new home. The fiber mill that I worked at last year, which was the Shepherd's Mill, the owner's daughter needed a llama because she had 2 alpacas and she has some sheep, and she had lost her llama. Her llama had died. And Thunder, he was in his retirement years, and his owner decided he just didn't have the time for him anymore. He's a snowbird. He goes down to Texas, and so he's not even here in the wintertime to take care of him. Got my phone told me it's low battery, so I'm gonna have to wrap up here soon. So we worked out that Thunder has a new home. He's taking care of alpacas and sheep down in Kansas, and he's working out really, really well. And in case you're wondering what Navro is doing here, you know what? This is a great way to see. They only have bottom teeth, and you get to see what their tongue is like. They have a firm gum palate on the top. Now, there's a couple reasons he's doing this. Either he is deficient in something, or he's bored, or he's just massaging his gums. But I have some that kind of do this all the time. Navro's one of them. I think he just enjoys the sensation of it. Maybe he is bored. Yeah. Okay. Since my battery is low, I'm going to have to wrap up. What hay do you feed? Whatever's growing out here. My property came with a 20-acre hayfield, and I would recommend that you get Dr. Norm Evans' Field Manual. It has a whole chapter in there on grasses for alpacas. I would talk about that more, but I just got another notice and I'm now at 10% battery life, so I'm gonna have to go. But I'm going to be releasing a video here. The first one is going to be of last year's national show, which took place here in Nebraska. And then I'll catch you up on all the stuff that I took footage of last year. And maybe that'll get us through the winter. I have some winter footage I took too of feeding and all that, but winter's not very fun to be outside. All right. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching the video and hanging out with me. That's been a half an hour. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. We are only 50 subscribers away from reaching 7,000, which I think is amazing. And like this video, it helps with the algorithm. Keep commenting, it helps with the algorithm. But this is going to be the year of alpaca. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.